Aniline City Stories, The Diamond Murders, Case 1. Crime Scene. Written by J.D. Kelly.
It had been a long day. My car had broken down, so I caught the bus. This would be the third crime scene processed today. But when Sergeant Rohas comes round and calls you to do some overtime, you know something's gone very wrong. Or to quote the technical manual, the shit's really hit the fan. This night just keeps getting longer and longer.
Sorry for calling you as you were about to finish for the day, Chris.
That's all right. I'll get some sleep after we clear this scene. It's just another busy night for you and the other boys in blue, I guess.
Yeah, well, if I get too many more of these, I'm taking a vacation.
Is it that bad?
We think it's another diamond case.
You're sure it isn't just another copycat, like the last one?
Not yet, but that's why we've brought you in. Captain said that as you worked the other scenes and the copycat, it had to be you. You made an impression with someone high up.
Hooray for me.
Hi, Sarge. Press are being kept out, and we haven't let any other officers into the scene yet. Murphy and his boys are watching the exits.
Keep it that way. Me and Chris will head up and take a look.
Hey, Sarge. How you doing, Chris?
Any news?
All quiet here. Most of the block seems quiet. We caught a few vagrants a couple of buildings over. We're putting them in the lockup for questioning. Dooley's upstairs waiting for you.
Thanks.
The old building smelled like damp cigarettes and cheap alcohol. It had that subway toilet kind of feel that you only get in the cheapest parts of the city limits. This building could have been apartments or offices a long time ago. Now, it should be condemned. Evidence of vagrancy could be clearly seen around every single corner. Old clothing and mattresses, all stained and littered with newspaper and damp cardboard. I guess anything they could use to keep the cold at bay. The broken bottles and used drug paraphernalia are easy to pick out, even in the low light from the few remaining bulbs. Paper-thin walls and ceiling tiles are covered in peeling paint and damp stains. The occasional hole showing where the pipes have leaked or structures that have been left unsound over time. Why here? Why leave a body to be found in a building like this? Is he trying to tell us something about the way he views the victims, or something else?
Sarge, Chris, it's through here. We ain't touched nothing since we found her.
Anon phoned in the location. Could be one of the vagrants.
Who's been on the scene?
I was first to arrive. Checked the pulse, breathing, or lack thereof. As soon as I saw the calling card, I radioed it in. I'd heard about the case around the precinct.
Thanks.
After you?
The small room is obscured by a large shelving unit right by the door. Walking around it, I can see the room clearly. A single bulb lights up the scene from on high. I begin by walking in a straight line, looking for any footprints. Brush marks on the floor of the scene. The room has been brushed in circles from the victim out, wiping away any footprints while on the way out. This guy is careful. The copycat had missed that detail and finesse. These diamond killings were methodical, almost clinical. Any evidence has been wiped clean or obscured, but we have to be thorough, hoping for a slip-up. There's a popular theory around the precinct that the perpetrator could be a cop. They certainly know their way around physical evidence. In the center of the room, a small round table is accompanied by a small wooden chair, with the victim sat upright, arms on the table, palms pointed at the ceiling. Victim is a blonde female, mid-30s, Brown eyes, wearing a black skirt and white button-up shirt. Shoes are missing. Makeup seems to have been mostly cleared off her face by some kind of cleaning solution, or maybe a makeup wipe. Was this done by the victim or by our perp? Could have been dressed for work. Judging by the color of skin, eyes, and the early stages of rigor, the victim could have only been dead for a few hours. Oh, when did you find her?
Would have been only about 4 hours ago. She was still warm.
Quickest we've found a diamond, Vic.
Okay. Victim has a playing card of the same ornate kind found on the previous diamond case victims. A detail that we have not released to the press as of yet. The card is located in the victim's right hand. This card has a 6 of diamonds on it.
The last one we found had 4 of diamonds on it. I wonder what happened to the 5th.
Maybe it's one we didn't find.
Sometimes they experiment with new methods. Maybe 5 didn't make the cut. Maybe it wasn't good enough to show us.
Victim shows no external signs of COD.
COD?
Cause of death.
Victim shows a blue tone of the lips. Possible poison or asphyxiation. No visible bruising around the neck or petechial hemorrhage to suggest strangulation. A talk screen will be needed as with the previous victims, though in those cases, no trace of chemicals were found. Maybe with time on our side, we will find out more with this one.
Let's hope.
Victim shows abrasion on hands and feet, but no tissue is visible under the nails. She put up a fight, but not much of one. This gives more credibility to the theory of a drug-induced kill. There's a lemony kind of smell in the air, like cheap cleaner. Looks like he wiped down the surfaces as well.
He really covers his tracks, doesn't he?
Just like the other ones, right, Chris?
Yeah, there are too many similarities. I think this could be our guy. I'll check through everything, even the dust in the corners of the room.
That's what we like to hear. That came from above us. Any of our guys up there?
No, sir. Murphy and the others are covering the exits.
Maybe vagrants, but maybe it's our guy. Murphy, we've got movement on an upper floor. Have 2 men go up the fire escape at the rear and sweep from the roof down. Me and Dooley will sweep up from here. Chris, have you got your sidearm?
Well, yeah, but...
Good. Have it ready and stay put. We're heading up. Let's go, son.
The sergeant leaves with the younger officer in tow. As I pull out my firearm and switch off the safety, I can feel my heart pounding in my chest. The thuds echoing through the walls mean I can hear them head upstairs, their voices muffled by the rooms above as they search door to door. I lean closer to the window at the unexpected sound from outside. I can see a slim figure walk across a 2x4 from the window above this room, across the alleyway, right into the window of the building next door. He kicks the plank walkway out behind him and watches it fall into the street below. I can see the light from the end of the alley shine off the knife in his hand. What can I do? I haven't pulled the trigger anywhere other than the firing range, but I remember the training. I know what I'm supposed to do. Protect and serve. Rohas, I can see a white male, slim build, carrying a weapon, heading across to the building over the alley. Please advise. Say again, Sarge. Please advise. Any officers read me on this channel? Fuck. Okay, this is CSI Chris Stevens. I'm going through the window across the alleyway to the building opposite. I'm chasing a white male, slim build, carrying a knife. It could be our perp. Send backup and block off all exits. As I open the window, the wind hits my face, cooling me down. The reality of the situation hits me a bit more. Am I really doing this? Jumping from window to window over an alleyway? No matter how small, it seems like a terrible idea. But that's the job, I tell myself. No one else saw him. This is your chance to see what you're made of. At least, I think. The night air is cool and refreshing after the stuffy, mold-infested building. I can hear the sirens of the PD cars arriving at the scene. They are nearby. Backup is here. The alley is lit up by the streetlights at either end, just enough to make out the windowsill on the other side. I can make this. This is okay. I know what I'm doing. What am I doing? Are you crazy? Get a hold of yourself. Get a hold of yourself. And do your job. The windowsill is smooth. My foot slips slightly as my hands fly up, catching myself on the upper part of the window arch. I can't believe I landed it. My view swims beneath me. Do not look down. As I kick at the planks that were covering the boarded-up window, they come loose, falling slowly to the alley below. As soon as there is enough room, I contort my body, squeezing through the gap into the dark interior. The room is quiet, and the air is dry. No one's eking out a living here. A thick layer of dust covers all the surfaces. I level my firearm at the darkest point of the room and wait a few moments for my eyes to adjust to the light. More light streams through the broken, boarded-up windows from the street below. It comes from shop signs and street lights, letting off their neon glow, casting eerie shadows. I step forward once, then twice, and then I'm on the move. As each corner comes, I level the gun, leaning out, ready to fire at the killer, or to shout a warning at any junkie that could be roaming the building looking for a fix. I could feel my heart beating inside my chest, the fear burning my heart, acid reflux in my throat, the sweat beading on my forehead. Opening my mouth, I stretch my hearing to the limits, trying to find the footsteps that will lead me to my quarry. I can hear it, movement above me. I aim up, focusing my attention on the assailant, just enough to not notice the tripwire and hole in the floor. Oh, fuck! God damn it! Oh, fuck, where is it? Where is it?
You don't need your weapon anymore.
It's him. 2 floors above me, looking into the lower room I had fallen into from the shadows above. His hood casting shadows across his face, the streetlights showing just enough to see the maniacal grin.
You know, I didn't expect you to last this long. Didn't think you'd make that jump either. Did you find the other victim?
We will find them. You slipped up so much that we found this one.
Shut the fuck up, you ignorant pig! Cops couldn't find their own hand in front of their face. I thought you'd at least have the common sense to look in your own pocket.
I freeze and look into the face of my tormentor. I slowly move my hand to my left chest pocket of my shirt, feeling the slight raised outline of the playing card. I know what's written on it. The number 5. I haven't even looked. I haven't needed to. I don't normally keep anything in that pocket. What is happening?
The bus was so crowded this morning. You bumped into a lot of people trying to get off at your stop, didn't you? It was a shame your car had broken, what was it, starter motor, I think? You even scratched your hand on someone's coat, or bag, or something, didn't you?
The back of my hand. The small red line. I had scratched it. I hadn't even noticed it. You don't. You get a paper cut here and bruise there, and how did it happen today? Why can't I concentrate? And why is my vision so dark? Getting so dark and blurry, and where am I? Where?
Good night, Chris.
You have been listening to Aniline City Stories, The Diamond Murders, Case 1, Crime Scene. Episode script written by J.D. Kelly. This episode featured the following cast members: J.D. Kelly as CSI Chris Stevens, Kadeem Rockhead as Sergeant Rohas, Gina Moravec as Officer Reyes, Scott Zim as Officer McNally, Dillon Horinek as Officer Dooley, and Autumn Ivy as the killer. Aniline City Stories is produced, written, and directed by J.D. Kelly, featuring music, mixing, and mastering by Alexander White of Arpeggio Creative, and sound effects from Soundly, Pixabay, and Alexander White. Please leave a like and review of our podcast. For further information, visit our website, aniline.city.